Hi everyone, it's Jenny with Joey and Jenny's Little Yellow House. You can find us on YouTube and Instagram at Joey143Jenny and also on our Facebook page at Joey and Jenny's Little Yellow House. All right, so today I am going to make this faux leather. I don't know if you can see that well enough. Let me turn it a little bit. So a friend of mine Facebooked me and said, hey, did you see Gayle Agostinelli's I don't remember how she said it, but faux leather process. And I had not watched that whole video, so I put it on, and I saw that Gayle was doing something very similar, but I didn't get a chance to watch the whole thing, and then there was a lot of questions, and so I thought, you know what, I'm just going to do my process. And I wanted to show this anyways because I had a request for a journal cover to show. So I thought, well, maybe I'll knock them both out at one time. So I thought, well, I'll just go ahead and give it a try. It is a little bit different than what Gayle does, but it is really a very similar process. I'm just using something that I've just used in the past. So I need to watch that, and I'll link it. I'll link that video in the description box. If you either click the down arrow or the more button, I'll link hers in there as well. And I need to watch that. Maybe I'll do that after this video. But I do know that she uses, if I understood right, she was using like hand cream, which sounds great. I'm sure your hands are super, super soft once you're done. So I'm going to do a flip through of this journal here in a little bit. But first, I want to get to the process. So I'm going to set that aside. Now, I believe, this has been so many years ago, but I believe I found the process. I'll try to find the video, and if I do, I'll link it as well. But I believe I found the process on the Paper Outpost. I believe Pam is the one that I originally saw this several years ago. So anyways, I just have a regular paper bag. Now, you can do this on scrapbook paper, whatever you want. But for what I was using it for is to literally look like leather. So I'm using a paper bag. And I'm going to cut it down real quick. It doesn't have to be perfect because after the process is dry, you could just put it in your paper cutter, and let me grab my trash can. Put it in your paper cutter and, make it the size you want for your journal or pockets or whatever. Okay, so I'm just going to do one side of this for this video. Not one side, just one piece of this paper bag. So I'm just trying to open it up here. Okay. Oopsie. Again, it doesn't have to be straight, but I'm going to try. I'm going to try to get it a little bit straight. Okay. I'll set this aside. Back here. Put my scissors away for now. Okay. So now I have this paper bag. And let me show you what else I have. So I have some inks, I have black, I have coffee, and I have vintage photo. You could do pink and blue. It doesn't matter what colors. The ink is what gives it, these really interesting markings. So I'm going to set that aside again. And then what I use is hair conditioner. So I just squeeze some out. It smells really, really good. I think one of the great things about it is that it makes it really shiny. So that's, to me, a plus. You don't have to have the shine. And maybe I wonder if maybe the hand cream might not be as shiny. Interesting. I'm going to have to try that process. I'll watch the video. And then I just mix it down to where it's just so this is approximately 2 tablespoons. And then I'm going to start with a 1/4 cup. I'll see, that might be too much, but we'll see. And I'll mix it, and I'll kind of try to gauge how much we put in. And then I just have a craft brush. You're going to get your hands gooey anyways, but I'm going to spread it on with a brush first. And then I brought myself, because I don't have running water in my studio room, I brought me a damp cloth and then a little dry cloth. So afterwards, I can then do a flip through. I might have to pause. We'll see. You know, and wash my hands. We'll see. So, okay. So then this is the same. You're just going to crumble this up. You're just going to crumble it up, okay? And I'm going to call this my front. So now you see you have these hills and valleys. And then I'm just going to take this and I'm going to run it across the hills and the hills that poke up. I'll run it across that. And you go both ways because one way you're catching the hill on, you know, with your ink, and then you go the other way and it catches the hill again, the other direction. So I'll put that back on. Now I'm going to crumble it differently. Smooth it back out a little bit. Now you could just use the same colors, and I think that would be totally fine. I'm going to just try, see what happens, you know, going with, this one's very light, so it's not really picking up much. So I think I'm going to go over it with the black. Okay. You don't have to smooth it out again, like I said, because you kind of want, you know, you want some little hills and valleys so that you're picking up some of the different inks. Okay, and then I'm going to do it one more time, I think, and use a little bit more vintage photo on it. Make sure I get all the way to the edge, because when I make my journal cover, I'm going to use the edges to wrap around, I think. We'll see. All right, I think that is going to do it. Let's look and see what it looks like, kind of smoothed out. I think it's going to get my hands a little bit. So, I don't know if you can see it very well. I think I'm going to crumble the edges a little bit and put a little bit more. There's not very much on this edge here. Just so it doesn't look like a... some of it will be covered up with whatever your inside paper is, but we'll make sure it gets a little bit. Okay, wipe my hands off a little bit. Okay, so now here comes the fun part. So, I mean, that was fun to begin with. All right, so here's my little thing, and I brought a little jug here. I'm just going to see how much it's going to take. I don't want to water it down too much. So that really isn't even an eighth yet. It's kind of, to me, it's almost 2 to 1, 2 water, 1 hair conditioner. But you don't want it too soppy. So depending on how watery your hair conditioner is, I guess it's going to, you know, determine. Man, it smells so good. Oof. Okay, so this is kind of the consistency that I like. I don't know if you can see it. It's dripping, but it's dripping kind of in puddles, you know. So I would say I used 2 tablespoons so far of conditioner and probably 2 to 3 tablespoons of water. And then I'm just going to brush that on. Okay, and you know, you can see I'm doing it very liberally because, you know, it needs to make it all the way around, and even on the back needs to have it. So, okay, edges. And you can keep, like, let's say I made this solution and I want to do more tomorrow. Just put a cap on it, you know, airtight. I don't know how long it will last, but I think it would last at least a few days with that water. But the water is going to start breaking it down and might not be great, you know, later. So I'm going to try to smooth those out a little bit. And then I'm going to turn it over. It's neat. I'm going to put some here. Now you could crunch it up again if you wanted to. I don't think I will because I can tell this paper is already getting thin. What's happening is the conditioner is working through, plus the water is working through the paper, you know, and so it's making it weaker, breaking it down. So I don't think I'm going to crumble it anymore. I think we did a pretty good job crumbling it. And it's very soft, very soft. I am going to kind of go back and forth with the lines because I think you're going to be able to notice those a little bit. Okay, now I want to just turn it back over again. Just check the front. Yeah. What I'll do is, this has a little bit of the towel on it. I'm going to take it into the kitchen and I'm going to lay it on parchment paper so it can dry flat like that. And then it won't have the little towel lines on it. So that is that. So that's all there is to it. It's going to dry. Then you can leave it like it is. The one I'm going to show you, I did do a light coat of Mod Podge on it because I wanted to strengthen it. Let me pause for a second. I'll move this and then I'll show you that one and a couple of reasons why I went ahead and strengthened it with Mod Podge. Just one moment. Okay, I'm back. So I laid it on some parchment paper in the kitchen so I can keep an eye on it. Okay, so yeah, I did the exact same thing with this one. You can see it. But it does look like on this one that I re-wrinkled it. So we'll see what the other one looks like. The reason I say that is because you can see a lot of the wrinkles. It's not just the imprints where the wrinkles were with the ink, but you can literally still see and feel the wrinkles. So I'm going to see how that goes. And I've got some of that solution left and some paper bag left. So I'll make one leaving the wrinkles too. Okay, so what I did with this one is, one of the reasons that I Mod Podged over was because I knew I wanted to poke these holes in. So I wanted to, you know, bind and thread through those. And so I felt like it would be stronger if I Mod Podged. You wouldn't have to do that. You could just sew, actually. I was at our leather shop a few years back having some leather strips, what do I want to say, inscribed for some journals. So what I did was I wanted to get some leather and have them inscribe what the journal was. They were travel journal gifts, and I wanted each person's name in the travel journal. Anyways, as I was leaving, they had these bags of scraps for free, like a huge bag. And they had inside of them little patterns for you to make things out of leather. I just thought it was so great. I still have some of that stuff left, but this piece was in there. Just a piece of leather. I did have to cut this down a little bit. I just did it with an X-Acto knife. And then these leather ties I put in. And I found this, I wanted to use that on the front because I found this super cute little buckle. It's a little vintage belt buckle. I found that somewhere because I made this journal a couple years ago. Anyways, it's a horse journal. So this journal is actually for sale in the United States. I made this journal to sell for the proceeds to go to a nonprofit. And so that's what this one's for. So if you're interested, let me know, and just know that all of the funds go to a nonprofit. Okay. So I just cut out pictures from different things. Lots of vintage things for, for horses, or just in, something that is kind of like that. Just all kinds of different things in here, but I'll do a quick flip through so you can see. Reminds me, I like to do flip throughs. I haven't flipped through this in a little bit. So it's neat because it reminds you of what you made. Here's an old rodeo coloring page. I think that's from Black Beauty probably. Some more things, some handwork. Beautiful horse back here. Gorgeous. Lots of writing space. Different things to write on. Children's book page. More ephemera. Tack order. Loaded up stuff. Little wooden tag. It's cute. Lots of things to write on. What's this? Vintage. Lots of vintage things. Oh, that's a multi-pack. Has a lot of stuff in there. Here's a pocket, a little envelope pocket full of stuff. Vintage ledger, flip. Lots of horses. Lots of horses. Some Kathy Holden fabric. Library card. Lots of fun things. More Kathy Holden fabric. All kinds of, some vintage, some redone. More Kathy Holden. That's a flip that is slow stitched. So you can see this is a little button packet that has some things in it. You can see that, using that technique on a brown paper bag would be great for, a Western journal or horse journal. If you know a horse lover, this is the perfect journal. All kinds of stuff in here. Little ditties inside of that. vintage stamp. More little things. This is, oh, a transfer. Vintage transfer. This is a really fun vintage fabric. Isn't that neat? It's hand stitched on some denim. More goodies inside of there. Kathy Holden. Some sweet. It's a vintage photo. I love this photo. Isn't that cute? Super sweet. I don't know if you can see that or not, but it's a, I don't know if they're Mounties or what. You have to hold it up to the light and see. It's fun. More horse things, little tucks and things. Here's a sweet pocket to put things. Here's some envelope that has things. Saddle. What is this? Oh, a dairy, a dairy milk thing. Here's some more goodies. Here's actually the beautiful scarf, handkerchief actually, that, where is it? I'll show you in a minute. I've got, there's two pockets or something made out of it. Another tuck. Yeah, so what I did was I put it on the copier and I made some neat pockets. This is fun. It's a wallet pattern and I just copied it and made a tablet out of it. So that's a fun idea to do. And that's it. Well, that's it. And then it also has a writing board. An old, chipboard type of thing. You can use it as a writing board. I thought it would be fun. Let me know if you're interested. You can just leave a message in the comments. Okay? It'll be first come, first purchase type of thing. Alrighty. So I'm excited to see how that turns out. On my next video, I'll show you how it all turns out. So I'm going to make another one crinkly, leave it kind of crinkly to dry, so we'll get the variation of texture. Oh, I forgot to show you. So I have a little vintage horsey here, a little leather tassel, and then a little faux turquoise. Cute. All right, everybody, thanks for hanging out with me. Let me know if you have any questions for those that ask me about this and what do you do with it. Once you've made them, once you've done the paper, this is one thing that you can do with them. You can, like I showed you that faux wallet. You could make a little faux wallet or envelope or make a pocket for your journals. You can make an envelope to send to somebody, and just imagine how yummy the smell would be once they got it. All right, everybody. I will see you later. And when this posts, I'm going to look for, I'll put Gayle's link, and I will look for Pam at the Paper Outposts link. And that's who I learned this process from. So just remember, we pray blessings over you each, and we always want you to know that you're so loved. All right, with that, we'll talk to you soon. Bye, everyone.